And we're live, sort of pre-recorded live. I just got done with another consultation and I asked my next guest, because it seems like everybody that I'm working with at this point is struggling with either some type of health issue. Most people have tried, obviously, uh, keto diets, and then they've gone to carnivore as their last desperate hope to fix things. Many people I have come from veganism, and this gentleman hits all three. So, welcome to Stephanie's Real People with Real Stories, right? Because I really feel the reason why I started doing this podcast series is because there are so many, I have a lot of people talk to me about what gurus had prescribed and things went left. And I became concerned. And I thought, what better but to have a real person explain what the frack went wrong and how to fix this stuff, right? Real people are gonna, that's where I get my information from. Real people. Let's bring on Benjamin right now, and we're gonna have this real story because it's interesting. All right,
Hey,
welcome, Benjamin. Hello.
thank you. Hello. Thank you so much.
Benjamin's from Germany, so I love the fact that I'm getting a real international audience here. So this is really, really cool. And what
Yeah.
I'm going to do is I'm going to flip us around so I can let you be the main person in this whole story. You guys, I'm going to take myself off camera because I think it's better to focus on what the story that Benjamin is going to explain from veganism to improve his health, all the symptoms that he's experienced, good, bad, or indifferent, potentially some of the people that he listened to, and what we're trying to do to fix the problem now. So you ready, Ben? Ready? Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
How do you
Yeah.
say that in German? Are you ready?
Ich bin bereit.
Oh, how do you say, are you ready?
Bist du bereit?
Oh, bist du? Oh, that's right. Bist du bereit?
Bist du bereit?
Oh,
Yeah.
bereit or something.
Bereit. That's difficult German.
Das ist nicht gut.
Nicht
Okay.
gut.
Here we go. All right, let
So,
me take myself out, and I'll still be here, guys. I'm going to chime in at the end. So let's listen. Oops. Look how professional I
go on.
am. I'm so slow. We're gonna get this. Hold on. Here we go, and we're gonna take me out.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, so basically my story is my whole life I was suffering from depression and anxiety and panic attacks, and it got worse and worse and worse. My childhood, I was not supposed to eat fat. So ridiculous. But yeah, it was told to me that it's not good for my health to eat fat. And so they put me on a low fat diet as a child already. And I remember that I had many really dark times with depression and already as a child. And yeah, then later in my 20s, I got psoriasis, panic attack started. I had larger periods of depression, mostly after separation. So I have a like trauma situation with separations, and yeah, I started more and more getting like a vegetarian style because it's so trendy. Um, and I did like for 7 years, and I noticed that slightly my mood went down and that I didn't feel good. My psoriasis and candida was flaring up. My mental health was not good. So then I started veganism. And in the beginning, it was nice because I didn't eat cheese and milk products. So I noticed some difference and some changes. I had many juices. Like every morning, I had my squeezed fresh juice. It was really tasty. Um, yeah, so I ended up like vegan maybe for 1 year. I was not super strict. So when I was traveling, maybe I was eating some chicken somewhere, but mostly I try to be vegan, and I really crashed 3 years ago. I mean, many things came together, like stressful times and situations, but I was not able to digest mentally also the physical stuff, stress that was going on. So I ended up like having mood swifts, like could be every hours swifting extremely, and really problems to recognize people, um, to recognize my own room. Everything was feeling really strange to me, and I really had bad times, anxiety from a car is passing by, and I was like feeling in shock. Yeah, and um, sleeping problems and all that stuff. So yeah, this was my vegan end time, and I went to natural doctors. I went to mainstream doctors. I went everywhere, and I had so many supplements. I paid so much money on that, thousands of euros, investigations, whatever. And at one point, where also my natural doctor was like, "Okay, I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know what is your problem actually." Um, he couldn't tell me, and then he said like, "Okay, try keto," and I did because the theory was really fixing me on. I thought, okay, this is a nice idea because I noticed I have some kind of problems to digest uh, carbohydrates. So I went on keto, and I first noticed improvements. I did. My mental clarity went slowly back. I could sleep better, but then I also had like rashes on my skin, digestion problems. My candida went worse somehow. My psoriasis went better. So this was like, okay, I was noticing something was going in a good direction, and I never wanted to go back to on carbs because this I could really feel was changing something to better. And yes, but still, I didn't have energy. I was just super weak. I was not the tired person, but just weak, muscle weakness. I couldn't do anything. So I tried to go on carnivore because in on the internet I found so many like channels and gurus. I really liked like Ken Berry and all the others that had the wonderful stories about healing mental illness and other diseases by just eating carnivore. And yeah, and it seems well, it seemed to me too so easy to just do it, and there's no problem, and just eat as much as you can, and just do it. So I did, I did it, and I noticed constipation. I had so many problems. Um, Many symptoms came back or went worse. The candida was flaring up so much, and insomnia came back. So I I really was, I don't know, I have so much empathy with Ken Berry, for example. Yeah, I really like him. But somehow I was wondering why nobody had these problems and why he's not discussing about these problems that I had. And many other people too. So I really had to find another way. And I was wondering, Dr. Berg also and some others didn't really talk about that. And yeah, suddenly I came to your channel, Stephanie. And there, the first time I saw somebody talking about maybe not eat so much protein, like I was eating before, or to really put the fat up. Yeah. So, um, basically this was my journey, and, yeah, here I am now going back to keto. So carnivore looks nice to work maybe for some time, but not for everybody. And I think it's just fair to mention that it's not that easy like they say. It's just not. It really can drag you up. So I lost 5 kilos or so. Um, and I'm really skinny already. So I need to gain weight actually. Um, yeah. So yeah, now we decided to go back to keto and to introduce more fat, to really have fat, to get energy because I have a lack of energy, to get my sleep back, to fight hypoglycemia, which I definitely have, um, sleep apnea at night, and what else? I already forgot about all the symptoms. But yeah, so this, I hope this is going to be the plan to heal, because my target is to heal my mental state, because I want to have mental stable mood, and my blood sugar is still going like this. And yeah, I found out on Carnivore, unfortunately, I made this ketone blood test and the blood sugar test. I was not in ketosis at all after 4.5, no, after 5 months of doing keto and carnivore. So it's not that easy. So that's the reason why I step back and then go slowly up again to get hopefully fat adapted then to start again. Yeah. So this is my journey so far.
What is the plan now?
Yeah, my plan now is going to travel to have also some relaxed area around me. Because this I also found out that stress is really almost everything. If the environment is stressful for you, work or whatever, not not having a nice sleep, my digestion just won't work. So I'm
I
gonna
see.
go traveling and going back to the keto.
Yes.
Um, yeah, and yeah, we're doing like 3 days now. The next 3 days, I will do um like constantly eating the whole day, a lot of fatty meat, or not only meat, but fatty fat.
Mhm.
And I will exclude eggs first and all the possibly histamine food, because I'm not sure if I have histamine intolerance or not. We will find out.
Mm.
Because after eating, I have like heart palpitations, or how do you say? And yeah,
Palpitations.
palpitations. And yeah, we will see if this is maybe a solution to exclude first the food and then maybe slowly come back. Yeah,
Yeah, that's the plan. So, I want to
that's the
say
plan.
thank you for telling your story from veganism to
Welcome.
keto to carnivore to back to keto.
Yeah.
And
I really hope that it's helping other people, because it was hard to find in the internet something about, okay, that it's maybe not that easy like they tell you, no?
Mhm.
So I'm really thankful for you that I found you, and that, yeah,
Thank
and that I,
thank
and
you.
also that you did more interviews with other people that are having problems on carnivore, and that they have the same experience, that it's not that easy, that you go on carnivore or even on keto, that it's not that easy.
Correct.
Because
So
and I know so many people doing keto, and now that I watch your videos, I know that they are not in ketosis. Just by watching them, or just by knowing that their mood is still going like this up and down. So I think, yeah,
yeah, the people are not in ketosis. They think that they are. People have a lack of knowledge and more experience, and they will just go by what somebody else says rather than trying to learn more about their body, what their health issues are. You're coming from a lot of problems. You've had low energy, you've had You went vegan as a vegan and vegetarian, and then you've lost weight, and then you've tried fasting too, which was a mess.
Yeah. Yeah, I tried fasting too, yes. Oh, the bulletproof coffee bullshit in the morning. No,
Yeah.
really. And fasting, like I did fasting every day, maybe having 2 meals because it's cool to have 2 meals or 1 meal a day.
And
And it's just not fun. It's just not fun. It sounds good, but yeah, maybe if you don't have stress at all and you live in the forest or something, no, and you're healthy, let's say everything organ is doing good, then maybe you can fast. Could be. But I think like this, stress life and stress what is going on in the world, whatever, it's just not, you need energy. Uh,
need energy. And that's what food is. People forget that food is actually energy. Now people have this thing that, eating all day long is bad for your digestion. No, it's not. We're not eating a whole cow leg every day. So
yeah,
we're not eating all day long, and we have to deal with hypoglycemia. The fact that I think that you're losing some mineral absorption, some with he's had heart palpitations, so some electrolyte issues, and severe hypoglycemia combined with histamine is making you feel bad, not having an appetite, and all of this. And I think you're right. The gurus don't tell the good and the bad. There are some good things that happen from all of these diets, but people only
yeah,
focus on like how great it is. And everybody's different. Everybody's bodies react differently to different foods, to different timing of the foods, to the fat. If you have a gallbladder, if you're not, we found out that most likely you don't have a gallbladder. You were taking enzymes for the gallbladder. I thought
yeah,
you're not showing the classic symptoms. It's sounding more like histamine. And sometimes you need to either recognize your own health, or obviously somebody like me who's not going to jerk you around and tell you what you want to hear and say, just eat meat and salt and you'll be fine. But actually look for those symptoms of histamine, that those heart palpitations can come from chronic dehydration, or they can come from a histamine. So, which I think is more Benjamin's problem is histamine. So we have to do experimentation where we're taking out food for 3 days and then we're adding it back in and then we're notating what happens to really figuring out what's going on with your existing health.
yeah,
Or, you know, just eat meat and you'll be fine. Like it just doesn't work that way.
yeah. And I wonder because Dr. Ken Berry also made a video, I don't know when, but about this new genesis. What is it? The protein
Gluconeogenesis.
neogenesis. And he's really saying that there is no problem at all, and you can just eat proteins as much as you want. And oh, and I wonder why. I don't know. I think he's smart, so and he's experimenting on his own body, I guess. But I don't know. And I can hard believe that he's lying. I don't know, but something is strange, and it's not that easy. And he must know it because many people comment, or I don't know. Maybe
I
for
don't
him it's easy, but I don't get it.
You know what's so weird? It's kind of hard for me to talk about him today because he wished me a happy birthday today. He did. He was just like, hey, what did he say?
You have birthday today.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, happy birthday,
My
Stephanie.
It's my birthday. No, it doesn't matter. It's all good. But he did wish me happy birthday, so I will keep it very diplomatic and say thank you, Ken. Um,
Yeah,
what I've always said about Ken Berry is he's just a really home cook and southern, very nice, polite, positive guy online. And he's been
yeah,
nothing but nice to me. And so it's very difficult for me. I put myself in a difficult situation sometimes when I don't agree with people's ideology on health. It doesn't take away from who they are. Like Dr. Berg, and like, his son has come out. I don't know if you heard about his son, but his son has come out talking about him. And, they have a
mhm,
conflict online and people ask me about it. Or Jimmy Moore, he actually got put in jail for possibly if you use your imagination with a young girl. Um, and Jimmy Moore is like one of these low carb experts. And then we've got the women, and pretty much
Yeah.
I try to stay away from all these people because I just try to learn from my clients and not from what anybody else says. I just try to
Mhm.
use my experience with real people, which is why I started this podcast. But Ken Berry does say things that I absolutely feel that a bigger picture is not being explained with him. You can never sorry about that, you guys. You can never broad stroke and say just everybody, you could just do this and everybody's going to be fine. Like there's no problem with gluconeogenesis. And I have to stick to what I believe, which by experience with thousands and thousands and thousands of clients before there was a Ken Berry, before there was all these gurus. The only people
Yeah.
that were around when I started was Maria Emmerich and Jimmy Moore. Everybody else has
Mhm.
come afterwards. And so I said it back then and I'm saying it now. Nobody is perfect on any diet. You have to be a work in progress. So I just
Yeah.
wanted to, I know I've kind of just started rambling right now and sort of taken over, but with Ken, I don't agree with his food ideology. Why he doesn't say more, I could tell you why I think he's not saying more, but I'd rather leave it to you using your imagination, or you say why.
Yeah.
um, but there is
And the,
always more, everyone. There's never like, it's never that simple. Nothing in life is that simple, or else if everybody
yeah.
go to the gym and do cardio and fast, they'd be shredded and muscular and have the best life ever. Nothing is
Yeah.
life simple.
And there are so many also young girls now coming up. I found on internet that also have channels about carnivore. And for on one hand, I'm like happy because they also talked about like depression and stuff that I also suffer from. So on the one hand, I'm super happy to find them and to have shared experience now. But on the other hand, I noticed also that they are super new in all these kind of diets. So, and they're just saying things and advices that are not really helping them in the end. And maybe for them it was helping, and maybe for them it was like super easy to just go carnivore, or maybe even not. I don't know. And they want to keep their channel going or whatever. But um, eh, it's
Yeah, and
difficult to go to the jungle because yeah, it's not that easy.
it's never, nothing in life is that easy. So, thank you, Ken Berry, for wishing me happy birthday. But these other girls or other people, I can say with all confidence that they're full of Bajskorven. So, Scheissekorven. Um, well, that's Swedish is korven, which is meat. Kor. Do you have Kor in Germany? Kor. That means, anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Um, um, I think that people who promote things probably have will intentions when they start. But I've said this a few times, and I really want to push this hard. When I first started coaching years ago, this is 12 years ago now, that there was a woman. She didn't develop any issues from the plan I created for her, but her husband followed the same plan and it sent him to the hospital. And early on, when I didn't have enough information, I had nothing to reference, it scared the absolute friggin' pants off me. And that was the end of saying how easy things were, or using my own diet as a way to say, hey, well, it works for me. It can, it's just great. Just you do this and you'll be fine. So now I'm the Simon Cowell of all these low carb diets. And if anybody tells you out there, you guys, that they're doing amazing on these low carb diets and they never have a bad day, they're lying, period. Because the electrolyte
Mm.
issue, the hypoglycemia, and the electrolyte issue that you can develop at different times very easily. And I'll say this, when I came here from Texas, because I just moved here a little bit more than a month ago, and I experienced one of the worst bouts of hypoglycemia I've ever experienced. And I knew it was going to come because it happened when I moved from California to Texas. And that is because I wasn't eating enough fat. I was stressing my freaking mind off. I wasn't sleeping well with all these crazy moves to escape crazy things happening in this world. So the emotional attachment to why I was leaving was also very scary.
Mhm.
And the level of tiredness was like, you can't even explain the hypoglycemia, how you just feel awful. And I knew I had to push through it, and now I'm popping out of it, and now I'm getting back into ketosis. And by doing that, I have to eat more often, and I have to eat more fat, and I have to get to sleep. Last night, I wasn't able to get to bed early enough. This night, I'm gonna get to bed early enough. So, did you have any last words that you want to tell the audience before we talk about your website, which we'll talk about? But do you have any words of to help people, since you've gone through so much
Mm,
with your own body and depression and weight loss and all of this stuff and veganism to back to keto, trying to just fix your health and feel good? Do you have any words to say?
ye- I just noticed that the world is so upside down, so that many things that they say is that it's supposed to help you, it's in the end not. So many times I figured out to go reverse, or how you say, like the opposite that they are telling you. All this vegan thing is so hyped in Germany, at least. Uh, and I also had to go like against my friends, and also because they're all like vegan, and it's difficult. But it's worth it because then you find more the truth, maybe. I don't know. So, and it's a jungle. You really have to go on and to ask questions, um, to really find your way. Because once you get stick to one person because you think, oh, Canberra is so lovely, and you stay there, then yeah, you get sick. So you always have to like move on um, and really listen to your body and question everything. So this is this is my trip.
Story, yeah. And it's so, you're so interesting. That's why I asked to have you in this real people with real stories podcast as a so you could tell your story, because it's what I love. The people that I choose, I feel, are being completely deadpan honest, and they're just themselves. And it's just so it's so lovely to listen to someone who's not trying to promote keto snacks and the Wi-Fi got all weird. Keto snacks and bars and all of this kind of stuff. So I really
Yeah.
appreciate your heart. We're aligned with what's happening with the world. We are on the same page. We both care immensely about what's
Mhm.
happening to us, the friends around us. I also was screaming at my friends and they didn't listen to me. And so we start to have to find people like us that connect. And
Yeah.
and that's the positive out of this whole crazy story, and that hopefully
Mm.
that our suggestions are going to work. And well, I'm going to see what's going on with you and see if we got some progress. um
Yes. Mm.
yeah, so thank you. I also want to show you
Thank
guys.
you.
Yeah, thank you. I wanted to show you Benjamin. He is not promoting any diets, but he is he didn't even say this. I'm promoting this, which is this is Benjamin's website. He actually, let me go to the site. He actually makes jewelry. And
Yeah.
the thing that's beautiful about Benjamin is that he actually prefers to sell most of his jewelry face to face with people. And that I asked him if he has any online sales, and he said that he does. And it's Chameleon Schmuck, and said with sort of a quasi American accent. But he makes all kind of stuff. If I go, you make bracelets and necklaces and rings
Mhm.
and
Yeah, it's
necklace.
mostly silver combined with some natural material. Can be like cinnamon or like whatever you find on the beach or on trees. Or- So
Right. Let me see
this
if I
is
can
what I do.
green kitten.
Kitten, yes.
Yeah, so there we go
Yeah.
with some things on the beach, like you said, and
Yeah, I do different stuff. Also, combination with gold or animal. I don't know what it is. The color. Yeah, this is cinnamon, for example.
oh, how beautiful. You guys
So
know
I
I always have jewelry on. Sorry, go ahead.
I do traveling and I collect things from the nature and then I combine it and yeah. Sometimes it's classical gemstone jewelry or um, inspired by what is it? By nature and
Oh yeah.
yeah.
So there you can reach out to him via email. You guys see a screenshot of this, or I guess you can phone him if you are wanting. Oops, where are we? Sorry, guys. If we're wanting to, if you guys are interested in purchasing any of his pieces online, yeah, or if anybody who's in Germany, how can they find you if they're in Europe or if they're in Germany?
I don't have a shop or something, so I sell on markets only. My next market, if it's going to happen, it's in Munich, the Christmas market on Tollwood. It's called Tollwood. Maybe the German people know. So it's a big market 4 weeks long, but I don't know if it's going to happen. So let's see.
I know
And
it's the world of today. Let's hope that it
yeah,
does. Let's
yeah.
let's hope. As we see in Europe, they hold the thumb, and in America, we cross our fingers and hope that it happens. I know people are like hold the thumb for good luck. But
Yeah.
thank you, Benjamin. I'm going to put him in the green room so I can officially say goodbye to him. So thank you so much for telling your
Thank you.
story. You guys go check out his website, Chameleon Schmuck. You can see right there on the screen and look at his amazing work. He's an amazing person he's just real. I love it. And he's got his eyes on and his ears turned on. He knows what's going on. So love that too. All
Thank
right.
you so much.
Thank you, Benjamin. Thank you. I'll see you in a sec.
See you.
Okay, see ya. All right, guys. Like I said, this is his website, Chameleon Schmuck. And he's got beautiful pieces. Like he said, he finds things. He uses cinnamon, he uses gold, uses silver, chains, I guess leather straps, all types of stuff. If you guys realize, I'm a jewelry freaking psycho. If anybody's noticed in all my videos over the years, I love jewelry. So he just mentioned it lightly when asked what he did for work. And then I went and looked at his website. I was like, oh my God, I need to talk about it. So this is what we're promoting today. If you want to go check out his work on his website, Chameleon Schmuck. So I'm going to remove this. And I just want to say, this is the end of another podcast in my humble life. I also am going to do a video of how I'm not rich. Somebody said to me, stop begging for money for your horses. You're rich. And I was like, if I was rich, I wouldn't be living in an RV camper that's a 2012, worried about freezing my ass off over the winter. So I want to teach you guys how to survive through these crazy times, on how I'm able to stay fit at 55 today, and how I'm able to financially create a life for myself without being in debt and without making unwise decisions. Everything I do is well thought out. If it's from meal prepping to saving and not buying anything for myself and not going out to the movies and not going out to dinner and not wasting my money on anything, that what's really important for just pure survival, which is my happiness, which is my horses. If you guys want to donate to my horse fund online, because I'm not rich and I don't have enough money to fence the entire property. All of these animals are rescues. In my entire catalog of 12 years being on the internet, I have never asked for a single penny until now. And I will do everything for those, for my little fur babies, shamelessly asking to donate through stephanieperson.com. With that said, thank you everyone for this real talk with real people and real stories with real people. More to come. If there are other people that want to tell their story, please go to my website at stephanieperson.com and send me an email through the contact page. Also, you can find me on Instagram at Stephanie Ketogenic, where I post stories every day on how to deal with things like your thyroid, which I've been talking about lately with the last 2 interviews. I have been so busy, I need to go and put these interviews in a catalog so you guys can find them more easily. And I'll try to link them below until I get to a lot of them. This is like episode, I haven't counted them yet, but I think this is like episode 6. I'm going to start counting them. And if you guys need to book a consultation, go to stephanieperson.com. If you want to join my course page where I cover all 3 diets now. I do keto myself because that works for me, but some people with extreme hypoglycemia like Benjamin, we're going to try keto. And if it doesn't work, what we did say at the end of our consultation was to potentially switch out to test. I've got flies running around here. To possibly test rice to make sure that he's not having histamine response to it because we're not sure. And then if he does, we're going to try parsnip, which is, I think it was Paris. I can't remember what the heck was it called in German. I can't remember. Of course, I can't remember now. Oh, anyway, it's late. Yes, thank you guys for tuning in. Kelly Hogan just interviewed me. She's absolute sweetheart. I'm really proud of her for deciding to eat high fat and also lowering her protein. We don't always meet eye to eye. I do not believe that anybody should do carnivore for years on time without making sure you have a matrix of fiber, at least from not cellulose. And then also, I want to really preface that I will be interviewing her next. And I'm out. Thank you, Ken Berry, for the birthday wishes. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, then all to receive my live streams when I go live or when I drop a new video. Also, I want you guys to share this content to get me from being slammed. It's time for me to progress, because if I actually had all of the people beginning to follow the channel, probably be up to 500,000 right now. But somehow I got super down with the numbers, and we're trying to bring it back up to also just teach people and also to enrich my life in every way. So thank you, everyone, and I'm out. Peace. Energy, energy, energy. I'm 55 now. What? 55? Strict keto. 15 years.